Hello, welcome back to Planner Apocalypse. It's like June 7th and I'm gonna do the May review and the June setup, which back to being late. It is what it is, but that's fine. It's all fine. I lost my bookmark. Pride Month as a queer person, I love that for me. I thought we could rainbow stuff how I'm decorating this month, because in case you are new here, the purpose of these videos is not the decoration, but like the process of goal setting and all that garbage. So yeah, that's why I don't really care. I'm gonna use my stickers, I'm gonna use them the way I want to, and that's that. Going through the May stuff, I wanted to focus on my planetary routines thing. I actually just finished filming it yesterday. I know it was for the new moon in Gemini, which was yesterday. So I am a Capricorn rising. If you were like, why are you talking about astrology? Astrology is very much built into the Memento Mori Goal Planner, in case you had no idea. So as a Capricorn rising Gemini, we are in Gemini season, by the way, as of May 20th. We just had new moon in Gemini, so we're like in it. My 6th house of daily work and health and wellness routine, service to others, very like the Virgo kind of archetype, but in Gemini. This is very appropriate and I wanted to focus on that. So, okay, great. So most looking forward to writing. I finished plotting my book and I'm in the middle of outlining it. I've determined that the difference between plotting and outlining are those things that you want to happen in your story at like different various times. And then the outline is putting all those plot points in order. But not only that, but like the way I do it anyway is like a stream of consciousness expansion of the plot points in chronological order, as if you were telling a friend about this show that you just watched and you're like gushing and going off on a tangent, which I tend to do. So that's very much close to my heart. So I'm glad that, part of that is done. I did my planetary routines setup. I actually have to just put it on the big thing so I see it. I did finish the erotica shorts book that I was reading, and that's it. I did read The Mall. So The Mall is this book that I read when I was 11 years old. Obviously, I took notes. I kind of want to do a video about it. I took notes on it because I was trying to get used to using sticky notes to take notes as I'm reading instead of doing it in a separate journal, just because that feels cumbersome a lot of times. And I made some crazy discoveries while reading it. Obviously, it's chock full of notes. But yeah, I love this book, and it's one of those like teen thrillers. I read it when I was 11 and it scared the poop out of me. And I got it because it sounds very much like Phantom of the Opera. And I know I've never spoken about this on the channel before, but I was a huge, I still love Phantom, but like I was a huge Phantom of the Opera fan since I was like in 2nd grade. What is that, like 7, 8 years old or something like that? So this has Phantom vibes and I was all for it. And yeah, it's a bit chilling. Yeah, going back and reading a book that scared me when I was a child or a preteen, developing young girl, going back, and I'm like, yeah, no, I was correct. I was correct to be uncomfortable. So, okay, we did finish the post-its. We did finish filming. I did not edit it yet, and I did not expand the design packet. So it's not yet ready to be put up on Etsy, which I have not, touched in many months. Etsy. I didn't do the writing Notion setup video, and I've been very bad about being in my planner again this month. So listen, this year I have determined that I've been feeling extremely ungrounded this entire year so far. So I need to figure out how to fix that. And I'm currently doing the manuscripting journal. I did a review on that. I have not edited yet. Hopefully I can get that up this month so it can be somewhat relevant. That has made me, when I do it, because it's undated, get back into meditation. And I'm trying to start small. And the planetary routines thing makes me a little bit nervous because it just seems like there's not enough time in the day to do anything. And of course, I'm doing it right before my daughter starts her summer vacation. She ends school on June 17th, so 10 days. So there's that to keep in mind. So those time to do things over here are going to be all gone because I don't have those anymore, like this pink chunk of time. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to be doing deep work and all that stuff. Okay, anyway, this is the first week in May. This is the second week in May. As you can see, I got less and less done. This I back planned, and this I also back planned, and this I back planned as well. So then Gemini season happened. These stickers, these are washi stickers that I got from Stationery Pal in like 2021 maybe, and I love them so much. They are so cute. I hope they still have cute things like that. I haven't shopped at Stationery Pal in a long time. I used to really love using these in my Hobonichi cousin. Anyway, this was the Memorial Day week. My YouTube channel's birthday happened. It's 18 years old, which is insane. I feel like it's unfair of me to say that because I left for so long. I started uploading in 2006 to 2008 maybe, and I just did like music videos, and of course a lot of them were, you know, taken down, copyright strikes, and the copyright strikes were different back then because Google didn't own YouTube and it was very different. So it was kind of like 3 strikes you're out instead of like this is a copyright claim. So I was just like, okay, I guess I'm not going to make videos anymore ever again. And then in 2020, I started up my channel again doing bullet journal planner stuff, and that's where I've been. I started with bullet journals and got into planners and such from there. I did not do any of my work for the homeschool planners. I've been kind of in a funk, I'm not gonna lie. That's basically what it comes down to. So yeah. All right, what am I most proud of this month? I finished outlining my book for me this month. Not a whole lot, I'm gonna be very honest with you. So part of the thing that's holding me up on the homeschool planner situation is that I don't know whether I want to. There's supposed to be an end of the month review, like not as extensive as this, but just like what worked, what didn't work, and tweaks to make. Basically, that's pretty much it. But they're from Upcycled Happy Planners. And so do I want to leave this way? Because I really want everything to be behind the tab, or do I leave it, you know, I might just leave it and make people do their own thing. But yeah, it's a homeschool thing. I might just leave it. I don't even care anymore. Get these out of my house. I don't care. Okay, what worked this month? Not a whole lot. I'm going to tell you that. Also, CapCut changed the way that they cut things, and that was weird. I kind of like it though. I don't know. Oh, I guess writing. Yes. I started writing one of my chapters and I'm pretty happy with it. I recognize it's not perfect, and that's part of the process of stuff I'm trying to do right now. You know, trying to just be okay with it not being perfect on the first go, because this is just the rough draft, right? So writing worked. Going to the library was fun, but I also forgot my headphones, which I think I mentioned somewhere, maybe. I'm grateful for writing, library, astrology, I don't know. Oh yeah, and also Freyer, how you spell it? Freyer. But, you know, people call him Frey because it's hard to say that last R, apparently. I don't know. That's what Harry says. So I will go with that. Freyer. How was my well-being this month? How, if at all, did it affect my productivity? In what ways, if any, do I have to learn to be okay with this? Very ungrounded into depression. I didn't get a lot done, and I will just continue forward. I use crying about it. What is not working that I need to let go of, restructure, or surrender to? Routines, and not making time for rituals that actually support my life, as opposed to just like being lost on whatever. Am I feeling resistance around something? Why? Homeschool planners. Because I'm trying to make a decision I don't know is going to be the preference of everyone, and I really want it to be the preference of everybody. So I think in this case, I will just leave the end of the month thing out unless I already took it out. They're buying an upcycled happy planner. Chances are they've already used a happy planner. So we're gonna leave it, because I need to get these up. I need to get these out of my house. Please, God, please take them away from me. I don't want them in my house anymore. I think I have nearly 10, and I'm a silly person. Why did I do that to myself? And also, since it's an upcycled thing, there's going to be things whited out. Like all of the dates will be whited out previously. So I don't know if people are going to be into that either. Obviously, it's going to be shown and noted in the pictures in the description. It's part of the reschedule project, which is this thing that I do sometimes when I have the resources and the energy. Well, that's a resource. So every year, thousands of planners go unsold and unused. Because of this, they are destroyed, adding to landfills and incinerators, which produce waste and pollutants. Here at Plannerpocalypse, we love our earth and we love planners. We believe that every planner deserves a second chance at life. The Reschedule Project aims to salvage and upcycle parts of planners in order to help them live again. Thank you for giving this planner a chance at a second life. Reduce, reuse, reschedule. There you go. I am a branding genius. I'm just kidding. But I think I'll probably make a sticker of that and include that as a freebie or something like that. In what areas am I struggling? Who can I get some mental health? Therapy and journaling. Another thing is that because I haven't had access to my spiritual journal, that's often where I like work through this. That's like what I call my ugly journal. I work through a lot of like the hard stuff in the spiritual journal because it's just like free form stuff. And I haven't had access to that for 6 months. So that is also taking its toll on me. Like all of the thoughts are stuck inside my head. And for someone who has OCD, the pure O, quote unquote, form of it, which means that there are no visual compulsions, they're all mental. I tend to ruminate a lot, and it's very hard when I can't put that stuff out on paper somewhere. So that's something that I need to fix. But I will say I am liking meditating again, even if it's just for like 5 minutes a day. What am I spending most of my time and energy on? Is this in alignment with my values and goals? So this month, because we're already in June, so I can't talk about what I'm doing this month. So writing, reading, fiction. Yes, I have more things to edit. I still want to do all of like my Hobonichi stuff. I have not done any of it yet, and that's annoying to me. Okay, what kind of guidance have I been receiving this month? Where do I feel like I'm being directed? Obviously, with all the stuff that I just talked about with Frey, I feel like I'm being directed to work with him. All right, what lessons or tweaks can I bring forward into next month? Stay curious. Keep doing what lights you up. Don't expect it to be perfect. Saying hell yes to self-expression. Saying fuck no to, and since we're already in this month, the need for validation, because that's foreshadowing. External validation. Great. Okay, so I'm gonna keep on doing that thing where I just speed through the rest of this, and we'll do the, God, it's almost the end of the quarter. I can't believe this fucking year is going so fast. But anyway, I'm gonna speed through this part and then do a voiceover. Okay, bye. Okay, so just went through the whole speed run of, not speed run, you know, like the whole planning thing. I thought that I hit record, and apparently I did not. So I'm gonna just walk you through what I did, and we'll have to leave it at that. So the focus this month is going to be the Memento Mori Goal Planner Companion. This is the one that will be up for whatever. I'm hoping for a July release, as I've mentioned before. Just as a reminder, it will have all of the workbook pages, the prep page, the calendars, this stuff. It will not have any weeklies. It will just have dot grid pages. So this is for people who already have a planner that they use and love, but you know, maybe they're curious about this. Undated one is also good for people who are not interested in the astrology part. There will be still the astrology stuff in it, but since it's undated, it will be on the calendar. So it's kind of like a DIY your own astrology stuff, and I will try to get some resources on how to do that. So I'm most looking forward to writing some more. I'm also looking forward to the Steam summer sale because my friend Tyler said that he's going to buy all 3 of the reboot Modern Warfare games for me so that I can finally play them and be very happy. So one of the things that I was going to talk about in my voiceover was that I started writing fan fiction for Call of Duty. And I started making some fan art. That's been fun and also very nerve-wracking because, you know, I crave external validation, but also I am so terrified of being seen. So it's been a roller coaster so far this month. So yeah, my biggest challenges ahead. I'm kind of looking at it as a way to prepare myself for releasing a bigger work onto Amazon, and then, you know, like dealing with the disappointment of like not having people see it or look at it or interact with it whatsoever. So yeah, biggest challenges ahead, managing emotions on releasing work. I have 2 different Tumblrs. I've basically split it into Momokina's art, 𝖊𝖓𝖓𝖓 is writing. 𝖊𝖓𝖓𝖓 also will have 18 plus writing, so like minors do not interact. Just a lot of like chaos and stuff going on there, and that's been pretty fun but also like chaotic for me. Things to learn, how to KDP and stuff, books to read, real magic, and then 2 romance books that I'm in the middle of. So it starts this month. Gemini, once again, is my 6th house of daily work, routines, health, wellness, and then the themes for Gemini are information, communication, connecting with others, and new ideas. So also the fact that I'm breaking into fan fiction and the fandom and stuff like that, and like interacting with other fanfic authors and other fans has been interesting for me. I am usually very, very much like a lurker, basically. So this has been another thing to navigate, I guess. So the solstice is coming up on June 20th. So that is going to be Cancer season. The solstice also marks, you know, the start of summer, or winter if you're in the southern hemisphere. If you're in the northern hemisphere, then it will be summer. For me as a Capricorn rising, it will be highlighting my 7th house of committed partnerships. So themes of family, bonds, demonstrating care, and how we protect ourselves and others. So I find that this is also very appropriately timed because, you know, we have my daughter's getting out of school, so summer vacation is here. My date-iversary is coming up in July, and just the whole demonstrating care, the very Cancerian kind of thing, and how we protect ourselves and others. So like dealing with my emotions, releasing work that I find very close to myself, close to my heart, is very difficult for me to deal with. So we're gonna work through it. So that's that. So this is, you know, the calendar, not a lot of stuff going on. I love this sun, by the way, love it. And the stickers are just from Happy Planner. So I basically told you what I'm working on. And once again, the main quest is the Memento Mori Goal Planner Companion. I have a number of videos that I would like to get out if I can actually do that. Fan fiction and fan art is here on my list of projects, as well as the homeschool planners that I want to get done. And that's pretty much the summary. I was supposed to get my blood work done months ago, possibly last year. And I keep forgetting to do that, so I should probably do that. I also think it's probably time for me to go and talk to my doctor about seeing a nutritionist for my 𝖕RFID, which is avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. I was born with it, or I developed it very, very early in life. And yeah, it's annoying. It's been like a massive source of shame for me. I only found out what it was a couple years ago, but trying to explain to people why I don't eat fruits or vegetables at dinners is the bane of my existence, and it fills me with shame. So yeah, I have survived without eating very well, but yeah. Anyway, this is the weekly spread. Ta-da! I went for the rainbow look, and that's just fine. I set up my tracker over here, and then I will just transfer. I didn't do any of these weekly reviews, so I feel like I'm definitely ungrounded and lost. So I'm just gonna, you know, do my migration of tasks and stuff, and then figure out what I've done already, cross those off, because we're at the end of the week now. It's Friday. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. And sorry about the weird video thing cutting off or whatever. Okay, bye.
Till next time.